Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating explainer about a massive logistical puzzle facing one of the Middle East's absolute fastest-growing markets. We're talking about Qatar. Think about it for a second. Qatar is essentially a desert nation, right? Yet it hosts millions of global visitors every single year with this booming hospitality sector and a retail landscape that just keeps expanding. That means every perfectly plated grain of rice sitting on a restaurant table is literally a triumph of global logistics. So we're going to look at how a company called AHK Rice is actually solving this huge challenge using a super efficient direct import model.
So here is the million-dollar question. How do you feed a booming hospitality industry when your local production is, well, virtually zero? And this isn't just some theoretical exercise for an economics class. This is the high-stress, everyday reality for business owners in Qatar. It's a market with surging food demand, where every new hotel, every new restaurant, and every new supermarket just adds to this massive appetite. But because of the climate, they rely almost entirely on imports. At the very center of that immense demand is rice. If that supply chain breaks, the entire hospitality industry quite literally grinds to a halt.
And when we say Qatar needs rice, we're not just talking about restocking a couple of corner stores. The scale is staggering. We are talking about wholesalers moving metric tons of product every single day. You've got private retail supermarkets, ultra-luxury five-star hotels, independent restaurants, and these massive commercial catering companies. Just imagine the contrast for a second. A luxury hotel chef preparing delicate, individual five-star meals versus a massive airline caterer pumping out 30,000 in-flight meals a day. They have entirely different needs, but they all urgently need a reliable, premium supply of rice. No one can afford a single hiccup. Now, they don't just want any standard rice. To meet this specific culinary demand, buyers overwhelmingly turn to premium Pakistani Basmati. And the reason is simple: authenticity. You absolutely cannot compromise when you're preparing beloved regional Gulf dishes like makbous, kabsa, mandi, and biryani. Imagine trying to use standard, sticky, short-grain rice for a traditional Qatari makbous. It would be a total culinary disaster. No chef would ever risk it. The success of these dishes relies entirely on the grain. Premium Pakistani Basmati brings that rich, natural aroma and those iconic extra-long grains that elevate these dishes in a way nothing else can. Section 1. Tailored solutions, the right grain for the right kitchen. In the professional food world, one size absolutely does not fit all. We've basically got two superstars here. First, there's the 1121 Steam Basmati. It's known for this bright white appearance, it cooks up incredibly soft and fluffy, and it has a natural aroma that just screams elegance. On the flip side, we have the 1121 Golden Sella. It's visually distinct with this really attractive golden color, but more importantly, it has a wonderfully firm texture, incredible grain separation, and, crucially, a super long holding time, which makes it highly resistant to overcooking. So how do those physical traits dictate where these grains actually belong? Well, 1121 Steam is your absolute go-to for high-end presentation. If you're running a fine dining restaurant or a gourmet retail brand, you want that fluffy, aromatic white rice. But actually, scratch that if you're managing a massive catering operation. Picture a busy wedding banquet where the food has to sit in a warmer for an hour. If you use steam rice, it turns to absolute mush, ruined. That's exactly where Golden Sella shines. It is the undisputed workhorse for high-volume commercial kitchens because it holds its shape perfectly under pressure. Moving to Section 2, Demystifying Logistics, the CIF Doha Advantage. If you have ever dealt with international trade, you know the logistics can be an absolute headache. But AHK utilizes a model called CIF Doha. CIF stands for Cost, Insurance, and Freight. It's a highly respected international shipping term. But what does it mean in plain English? It means AHK manages the complex heavy lifting of the entire export process, right up to the Doha port. They take on the immense burden of maritime logistics, acting as a massive stress reliever, so the buyer doesn't have to worry about a thing while their product is out on the water. When you actually break down who does what, the advantage is incredibly obvious. AHK Rice handles the big stuff: the production, the milling, the grading. They manage the strict quality inspections, secure the export packaging, deal with all that complex export documentation, pay the marine insurance, and secure the ocean freight all the way to Doha. And the Qatari buyer? Their list is beautifully short. Once the ship docks, they simply handle local customs clearance, pay any import duties, and put the product on a truck. It's like night and day, which is exactly why this model is so attractive. Section 3. A simple 5-step process.
Through 5 really clear steps, a wildly complex international operation becomes a highly predictable workflow. Imagine you're a busy procurement manager. Step 1, you just share exactly what you need, the variety, the volume, the packaging. Step 2, you receive a customized, all-inclusive CIF quotation. Step 3, you confirm the specs and approve the order. That's it for you. Because by step 4, while you focus on running your business, AHK goes to work behind the scenes, handling all the production, inspection, and paperwork. Finally, step 5, the shipment is dispatched directly to Doha port. It brings total peace of mind.
And speaking of step 1, buyers have incredible flexibility here. You can select packaging ranging from 1 kilogram retail bags, perfectly sized for a supermarket shelf, all the way up to massive 50-kilogram wholesale sacks for those commercial kitchens. But here's the real game changer, the private label service. A Qatari entrepreneur doesn't need to build some multi-million-dollar facility to start their own rice brand. They can literally have the rice packed in their own branded bags right at the factory level, effortlessly building their own independent retail empire.
Section 4. Your long-term supply partner. It all boils down to the factory direct advantage. By completely cutting out the middleman and buying direct from an experienced exporter, buyers lock in highly competitive wholesale pricing. But it's not just about the price tag, though that is for sure crucial. It's about predictability. When you secure consistent quality, clear communication, and timely schedules, you are essentially building a moat around your business. You protect it from local supply shocks and secure the long-term stability you need to drive true profitability. So, as Qatar's hospitality and retail markets continue this rapid, unstoppable expansion, you've really got to ask yourself, is your current rice supply chain built for the past, or is it built to scale with Qatar's future? Shifting to a direct, tailored CIF importing model isn't just some clever cost-saving trick. It is a strategic necessity to stay ahead of the curve. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today, and keep looking for those logistical edges that can totally transform your business.